Hi everyone, this is my video testimony and I'll get going quick so I don't eat up all this time, excuse me. Alright, here we go. Before I accepted Christ, I think my life being most now related to a lot of people my age, and I used to party a lot and do a lot of drugs, and I think with that, I think the biggest point was that I was really sort of going and vying for a lot of relationships and trying to get as much sort of social capital as I could. And I loved having different friendships and meeting new people, but they were very hollow and they were not worthwhile and they weren't meaningful. And so my life was revolving around these hollow relationships, and I could just see more and more that they were just continually, they weren't something that were meaningful and worthwhile and were not going to last. And were ultimately hurting me and making me more and more unhappy. And I'd grown up as a Christian kid, and I grew up in the church, and I sort of, not necessarily walked away, but it just wasn't very evident after sort of my middle school youth group days, and we had a lot of transition in the church, lost a lot of leadership. So the first time I really heard the gospel in a dynamic way was in college, working with Young Life as a volunteer. And the thing that stood out to me the most about this campership ministry within the college age volunteers was that the community was just so natural and loving and strong, and there was no sort of, I guess, reciprocation of getting to know someone that they expected something out of you to get something from you. It was more that they just genuinely loved you and cared about you right away, and that appealed to me so much. And my attitude turned towards that right away, and I began to start living in that regard more and more as I continued on my time volunteering. And the only struggles, the big struggles I had were that within a lot of those hollow relationships that I did have, where there were some worthwhile friendships, and my worry is that I would lose them if I accepted Christ. But I realized that this great relationship and this great love I saw in people and evident in people that followed him was so much more worthwhile than maybe these sort of so-so or friendships that I were unsure about that could be more worthwhile. So I decided to take the plunge and become a full-time Christian. And I guess my biggest changings and my motivations are, I think, in my attitude, again, just with relationships. And the relationship I have with God, I think, makes me want to have great relationships with other people and love them extremely well. And at the very least, if it's something in passing, those people that you just pass along the street or whatever, if that I could be kind or do good by them. And the hope would be, if they ever maybe ask why is this person calm or loving in that way when maybe others wouldn't be, the hope would be that it's because of my faith and because I'm a follower of Christ. And the same to a larger extent I would expect with my relationships and friendships now. And then hopefully that can facilitate conversations with non-believers about God and about Jesus and what he did not only for my life but for so many others, and what he did for all of us. So that's my story. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. And looking forward for the rest of the week and the rest of this class. Thank you.